Hi guys, it's still FASD Awareness Month. This is very exciting. We have a lot of cool things. The thing I wanted to talk about today is medical care access and how it is different for those of us who have families that family members on the spectrum. You know, it's advocating for, I've heard stories about biological parents who have told their doctors, I drank during pregnancy, and the doctors are like, this doesn't matter, not a big deal. It's women who have reported it and want doctors to look for health issues and they don't see it. They say it's not a big deal, and so they don't see the health issues with their kids, like physiological stuff. It is parents who have gone for years and years and years to different specialists, and no one ever brought up the possibility of FASD, despite it being the most common form of developmental disabilities. It is doctors saying that they don't diagnose that when they diagnose everything else. It is doctors saying that it doesn't really impact that much about the brain, even though we know that it does. It's a lot of writing off in the doctor's office, and it's so hard to know how to advocate for the person in your family while also like getting the system to do what you want, right? I believe that you don't always have to get someone to be super FASD aware to get the end results that you want. So sometimes I will use my children's, some of my foster kids' diagnosis of ADHD and use that as a way to get someone to give me some sort of accommodation in their IEP or to get a new therapy. I will use their PTSD diagnosis to explain X, Y, and Z to get the therapy, medication, understanding, accommodation, whatever that I want. So I talk about FASD during appointments all the time, but I don't wait for someone to use that as the reason for whatever. So I'll be like, well, clearly this is a cause of prenatal alcohol exposure, right? But I don't wait for them to say it. I don't expect them to say it, but I'm gonna get what I want regardless. So a lot of times this is what it may sound like when we're talking about ADHD with a kid that doesn't necessarily have ADHD. So I'll be talking to a physician and they'll recommend that we put them on medication, and I'll be like, well, because their hyperactivity is due to FASD and not ADHD, although the symptoms are the same, so it kind of looks the same, the medication we were trying didn't work. So we're just not going to do that right now. So I'm not expecting that they're informed, right? I kind of know that I'm informed, and I say it very matter-of-factly, because realistically they're not going to look it up in my experience. So I'm just gonna keep on keeping on and make sure that my kids get what they need. And I talk as if people already know what I'm telling them. So I say stuff that I'm pretty sure they don't know, but I say it as if they do know, so that they can agree and use that information without feeling the shame of not knowing it. There's a lot of new studies that come out with FASD, just like there is with a lot of developmental disabilities, but the last 10 years probably, there's been a big boom in studies that show the prevalency. That was since, 2018 was actually a huge study with prevalency, but broadening the diagnosis was in 2013. So some of this stuff is new. So you got to kind of give them the grace that they don't know, and then help get you to the place that you need. If you need to, though, you can bring studies, you can bring, I say studies, you can bring studies, books. Yes, that's the other thing you can bring. You can also bring books. So you can bring those things to back up what you're saying and what you're asking for. I especially like studies. I like to look those up and give people numbers. But all of those things can help you get to your end result, but not necessarily require that they know the why at the beginning, right? So all of that to say, this Saturday we will be having a special guest. We are going to be talking to Simone of Simone Says blog, and she talks about healthcare inequities and a lot of public health stuff. So as much as we know that our kids are at specific risk because of their disability and the lack of recognition for it, we also want to go a step further and look about that recognition in regards to race and how that may change the outcomes for people. And so I look forward to chatting with you about this. Simone and I are going to have a great conversation, I know, on Saturday, and there will be a giveaway as well, so stay tuned. Thank you so much. Bye.